The Gothic 1 remake is already a nightmare for THQ Nordic, but also fans. We are sick and tired of titles being modernized and them censoring content and altering designs, and we're going to call it out, and that is very bad news for companies because they cannot stand when we speak up, and that is exactly what gamers are doing right now. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, over the past few days, tons of gamers have been calling out this new remake because it is modernized slop. It is unfortunate that we cannot have mature themes in games really anymore, or they're toned down. We can't have characters who are damsels in distress or else they're altered, and we can't have beautiful women and hunky masculine men anymore. Too much content now is sanitized, and we're going to call that out whenever we see it, and that's what gamers started doing, and this is very bad news for THQ Nordic and the team behind the Gothic 1 remake, because we have seen some images circulating of the characters, how costumes are being completely altered. Some of these women look absolutely repulsive, and the moderators and the community managers have not been taking this quite well. The Steam forum is now being flooded with questions and criticisms and really ultimately backlash. And one of the moderators and community managers decided to lock down threads, delete threads, try to silence people, and that caused the Streisand effect to occur. But Zaidi here, the again, community manager, said putting all of these topics in one place because Jesus Christ, don't bring him into this. So let me make this very clear to everyone. If you have real concerns about the models of our game, we are more than happy to hear from you in a constructive manner. This toxic hostility will not work, and I will purge the forums for it. We have shown time and again that we listen to feedback, so present your feedback in a constructive manner and we listen. Now, to all the trolls farming clown emotes because they just post the same stuff on every game for clickbait, you will get removed real fast. I think that this is so funny that these people are so out of touch with their audience that they will sit here and say genuine criticism or pointing out the fact that, yeah, this game looks bad is instantly in their mind, meaning you are a clown emote like reaction farmer. I think that is just so perfect that they have announced that to the world, because I love when these people prove that they are wrong, that they are out of touch, that they really know nothing about their audience, and it's so much easier to spot the tourist in the industry. It, of course, makes my job much easier. It makes it much easier for you guys to respond properly. But, of course, they think that if you do not basically just shut up and consume content, if you don't sit here and say that this looks good, you are participating in toxic hostility, which I thought hostility technically was already toxic, but of course we're talking about cultural Marxists here. They work their way into an industry, they completely desecrate it, they change the meaning of words, they create new terms, and that's why words like fascist and NZ mean absolutely nothing anymore, because these types of people go around and they call everybody that is their opponent those absolutely terrible things. But this person actually had made a post on X the other day, which I screenshotted, but Zaidi here had said, sometimes I wonder if people are aware of the massive change that has to happen within the gaming industry for it to survive another 10 years. People buy less games, yet more games than ever get released. Development costs are insanely high, yet people will rarely buy full-priced games. People working in gaming know it's an oversaturated market and will become more and more so. Some massive changes will have to happen during the next decade for the industry to survive, as the current model is not sustainable, barely even now, which which is so funny because they are forgetting the fact that gamers are rejecting activist slop. People are calling out this type of content, and I posted so close, but you forgot one. Power hungry community managers like you are running rampant on forums, purging threads and banning potential customers from having discussions / criticizing games. So that also pushes us away. I think these people don't understand how much their actions truly do reflect on a final product. They'll sit here and say, oh, but I'm not technically a developer. You're close enough. You are somebody who is supposed to be managing the community and ultimately taking feedback from the community to give to developers. Now, this person did end up protecting their posts. Apparently, they don't like getting called out and people throwing the truth back at them, but it seems that they have now been overwhelmed to the point where they can no longer moderate the Gothic 1 Remake community thread over on Steam because there are hundreds to, well, we're getting probably close to 1,000 different threads of people and also comments saying how disappointed they are now. I don't want to sit here and say I'm the only reason this is happening because there were posts made previously, but a big reason why this is happening is because Asmongold had reacted to one of my videos on the topic, so it's just kind of like a chain of unfortunate events for this publisher and these developers. Censoring the remake removed off wishlist. I mean, this thread alone has 433 comments. Oh, but this person's just a clown emote farming, according to this CM. We want beautiful female characters, not political downgrades. This to me is just so sad because we shouldn't have to sit here and deal with this. Not every female in a game needs to be a 10 out of 10 bombshell and needs to be dressed in a chainmail bikini, but we are talking about women who are slaves, who are supposed to be very attractive, very appealing. There's no way Gomez would be choosing a land whale to abuse. There's no way that people would be choosing these characters that look like they got hit in the face with a frying pan and then had a $10 plastic surgeon fix their face. There's no way that these women would be put into these situations judging by their new designs. Can't wait for all these DEI slop companies to fail. I think that these developers should be extremely worried because, if you don't know, THQ Nordic was acquired by Embracer Group back in 2014. You know who else was acquired by Embracer, made a new modern slop game, and then was shut down after almost 30 years in the industry? Volition, because of the Saints Row reboot. We could see that same exact thing happen here, so I would be a little bit nervous if I was these devs. And this game doesn't even technically have a release date. It just says 2026, so maybe it won't even come out, but either way, I think that this, what they're calling a faithful adaptation or a faithful remake, is going to be terrible for them upon launch because I don't see any of these people that are commenting here buying it. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to play it. And I'm so upset about this situation because Gothic was always unique. It was interesting. And there's so much content that they could change here. I mean, look at the way Dragon Age the Veilguard went. Dragon Age previously had some pretty dark themes and a dark aesthetic, and it was adult and mature in tone. And then Veilguard was like, oh, hey, guys, I'm the DEI squad leader. Like, it was so bad, and it sucks. I don't want that to keep happening to video games. It's why I'm personally very glad KOTOR seems to be in development hell. I love Knights of the Old Republic. It's one of my favorite games ever, but I would rather them not come out with it than them butcher it, and we just know they play the non-binary game with Revan, that's for sure. And then Juhani would probably constantly be running around talking about how she's a lesbian and she's proud of it. Like, it would just be too obnoxious, judging by the source material. Gothic, lol, more like pathetic. I identify as non-binary, fat and ugly. Why do the women in this game look like men? I hate seeing this happen. As a woman, I like to play as pretty women, just like there's a lot of men out there who want to look at hunky masculine men because they're masculine. I want to look at women who look feminine, and that shouldn't be some big controversial take. We should actually want to look at characters that look like either of the two genders. It's going viral now. Faithful Remake, How to Ignore the Publisher. RIP, disappointment. There's really not a whole lot of positive threads here, which I think is just so funny. If they had such a big audience, if they had a lot of people who actually supported them, you would think that those people would be here, and they're not. Maybe once we get closer to release, a lot of people will forget about this, and there will be an opportunity for them to make a few bucks off of sales. But if they're smart, they would add some development time onto the game, because again, it doesn't have an established release date right now. They would fix these character designs, they would fix the costumes, they would listen to our feedback, but will they do that? Probably not. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.